That's right, we're back. It's a return of the OKC podcast, and let's just answer the question right off the bat. Why return now? Well, I think more the question is, why did we stop? And listen, 2 seasons, no O-line, a lot of losses. The show pretty much was going to be the same thing every week. We have no O-line, so we can't run the ball. Since we can't run the ball, teams play our pass game. And without an O-line, our pass game has enough trouble as it is, even though we have good quarterbacks and good receivers. But when you let the defense play the pass, that's going to hurt what little offense strength we have. And in turn, that makes us go 3 and out a lot more often, which makes our defense suffer because they're going to get tired. And even when they're playing great, they're going to get worn out. And that was pretty much the excuse every week for the team. And that's kind of boring to do a show on. And it's also boring to listen to the same thing over and over. I remember as a Redskin fan when Norv Turner was a coach, listened to his show every week, and it was the same thing over and over. It became very monotonous. Anyway, that's why we are back, because we actually have a full roster now. Even if it's made up partly of enhanced generics, which is the term I'm using for those players that we pay to get average players to fill out the team. And hopefully, and it is kind of looking like, a little inside information, that we'll be full up with actual human players. And hopefully won't have to use any enhanced generics, as I like to call them. But with that said, let's look at what happened last game with our win.
3 minutes of the game, Bossier City gets the upset win. So, Bossier City gets a win at 5-4. Florida's 4-4. They're in Oklahoma City taking on the 1-7 Renegades. Johnny Pickler, a little quieter in his older age, but he's still slinging it. Finds Nolan Pierce for the touchdown. 7-0 OKC. Then it is Mike Cross with the interception for the Renegades. And, you know, Oklahoma City has not had a problem starting games. Had a problem finishing them, but so far so good in this one in the first half. 10-0. Then it's Pickler finding Randy Pierce, who had a banner day of over 100 receiving yards. Up the middle, Carl Brewski picking up the first down. Then it's Pickler into the end zone to Pierce. And don't look now, but the 1-7 Renegades have a 1-7 on the board. 17-0 OKC over Florida. The Storm have to start getting it moving. That's Shea Carroll with that catch. And then across the field, inside the 10-yard line, that's hauled in by Vandelay. Into the end zone, Mike Twinscrew throws a souvenir into the crowd, and Florida's on the board, 17-7 to quiet the Storm inside, as it were, in the halftime locker room. Randy Pierce with that catch to start the third quarter off strong for Oklahoma City. That's going to move the change, pick them up another first down. And then it is Brewski dragging defenders down around the 13-yard line as the Renegades look to stay on top of Florida. Handoff, Brewski walks it in. Easy as you please. 24-7. Renegades on top of the Storm. Field goal is good, makes it 24-10. That's Charles Franz with 9 minutes and change left. Florida's got to go, and they got to go quick. They do go quick down to the 34-yard line. Then it's Isaac Covert off his back foot to Israel Adams. A beautiful toss, making it 24-17. Just a 7-point game. Florida recovers the onside kick. Don't look now, but Oklahoma City's having trouble closing another football game. That's a one-handed catch for Vandelay. We're tied at 24. But Oklahoma City flips the script. Judah Dorgan sneaks that one inside the left upright. Puts Oklahoma City ahead. A 53-yarder for Franz to tie the game. It is just short. And OKC holds on for a major upset, 27-24.
And there you have it, recap of our dub from last Saturday. And you can't ignore it. We obviously had an issue in that game. And it's been an issue for the last couple weeks, and that's our prevent defense. Everything was very dominant for us in that last game against the Storm. But, like, the last 2 weeks, less than 2 minutes left, we're on defense. We play soft zone, and we get picked apart, move the ball down the field, and our opponents score a touchdown. Happened this week, and it happened the last 2 weeks. The difference in the last 2 weeks were those games were very close and competitive, and then we allowed them to score a touchdown right before half, and then we come out of half, and we both the 2 prior games, we gave away a turnover that led to 7 points, and that's a quick 14-point swing, which put us in a situation to where now we're working from the bottom, trying to get over this obstacle that we've put in front of ourselves, and then, which of course, then turns to them being able to play the pass a little bit more, because we're trying to score quickly, because we got to make up 2 scores, and hopefully a go-ahead score. Now, with this past game, fortunately, we dominated the first half, and then we gave up that touchdown. And then in the second half, offense wasn't as good as the first half. It's really like we changed, the strategy changed, or either they figured us out, or we weren't as aggressive as we usually were, so we didn't score as much. And then when we were getting closer to the end, we went right back into that prevent, and what they started doing, they started picking us apart. And they also got that onside kick, which was a killer as well. And they whiffed for it pretty early. I think most people were surprised at that onside kick. I think if they don't get that onside kick, everyone's hindsight second-guessing of it being way too early for that onside, because probably we at least get a field goal out of that after getting the ball in their side of the field so late in the game and be able to put it away. But unfortunately, they amazingly get that onside kick. I'm surprised I wasn't in the highlights. Anyway, they get the onside kick, and we play that prevent again, and they tie it up. Fortunately, our offense came through, went down, scored that field goal, and then they came back. We were playing that prevent again, but they didn't have a lot of time. They were also working the run game for some reason. Not that they weren't in a position to where they could run some, but they were definitely not doing it in a way that managed the clock very well. Fortunately for us, causing them to have to attempt a 53-yard field goal, which was way short. And now we take all that momentum into a bye week. Ugh. Bye weeks. Terrible. There's not really much to talk about the upcoming game there. We will talk about what's coming up in future podcasts. I know next week, plan is to give the list of all the players of the games from this season so far. It could be as low as 0 if it's that bad of a game. I don't think we've had a game where like no one was, a standout on the game. And it could be as many as 3. Offense, defense, special teams, if it's that kind of game. Or if 2 guys on one side of the ball just were amazing. We're willing to give that award to up to 3 people. But we will see that next week. We look forward to bringing you more episodes of the OKC Podcast. If you have any comments on the previous game, future games, yada yada, all that, please leave them in the comments, and we will read them next week on the OKC Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, turn notifications, follow, and all that other stuff you can think of. The opening music was brought to us by F4A Radio. That was Anno Zero with a song called Crazy. And we will close the show with a little bit more of that song.